Looking for a wireless microphone solution for creating online videos and YouTube content? In this video, I review the Sennheiser AVX microphone kit coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media, giving you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And on this channel, we do tech gear reviews as well as strategy videos. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And hey, at any point during the video, check out show notes and links in the description below. I'll list out all of the specs of the AVX setup, as well as a couple different kit variations that this particular microphone system comes in. So check those out at any time. So as you know, one of the keys to great video is great audio. So I was super pumped when Sennheiser sent out this wireless lavalier mic set to test out. And then since that time, we've been adding a few pieces to it, including this handheld mic and using it at live events for creating videos in a lot of different scenarios. And so far, I've been pretty impressed. But let's dive into the specs and some of the details about this kit. So the Sennheiser AVX system has been out for a while now, and their goal in putting out this system was to create a simple and straightforward way to get great audio so that you could focus on the video. So in a way, this kit is meant to kind of be plug and play, clip onto your subject, plug it into your camera, and get great results without tweaking with too many settings and worrying about anything, so that you can focus on creating great content. And one of the ways that the AVX system does that is by matching your camera's input sensitivity. So this is kind of like auto gain control, but the cool thing is it's actually pulled off really, really well. So basically you can plug it in and there's not a lot of manual adjustments that you can make. It is basically getting the most perfect sounding audio on autopilot without you having to think about it. The receiver can plug directly into an XLR input, and if there is phantom power there, it can run off that, or if it doesn't, it can be powered itself. And then you can also just plug it directly in camera with the supplied XLR camera to an 1/8 inch that could go into a DSLR, mirrorless camera, or camcorder's audio input. And this is a digital system, so it's different than the analog setup from Sennheiser, like the G2 or G3 series of microphones. In this particular case, it's working on a megahertz band, and what's cool is it basically eliminates the need for having to manually set channels. You just simply turn on one microphone and click pair, turn on the receiver and click pair, and it works together, and you get clean sound pretty much no matter what. What happens is, on some of the old analog setups, you know, there might have been a truck or a plane flying by or somebody else that's on your same channel, and that would introduce interference into your recording, which could sometimes be frustrating, and other times it could actually ruin your footage if you weren't monitoring it well. What's cool about the AVX system is that before interference even becomes audible, it switches channels. So it can be constantly actually moving to different channels, making sure that it's always talking to itself and that you're always getting clean audio without having to think about it. Okay, so we have some examples and we'll get into some of the pros and cons, but let's first talk about the price. Now, it is important to note that investing in a package like this is not a budget setup, but I actually kind of think that's important. Personally, I do not believe in budget wireless microphones. I do believe there's a lot of audio solutions that are not wireless that you can save a lot of money on, get great results, and we have a lot of videos on Think Media TV about that. We'll link up a playlist in the description below of our microphone series. But budget wireless is kind of like not something that works in a sentence. If it's budget and it's wireless, it's probably not very good, right? You kind of get what you pay for when it comes to the signal strength or the quality audio. But saying all that, this kit starts out at around $700, and the microphone itself is the ME2 microphone. And that's kind of the beginning. You get the lapel mic, you get the ME2 microphone, you get the receiver. This one is the Pro version. And so this one is the MKE2 microphone. Everything else is the same, but the microphone itself on there, the lav mic, is a little bit better, and that comes in at $1,000 US. But additionally, there's actually a whole bunch of different setups. And so if you can see here, there's one where you can actually also get the handheld mic included, as well as the ME2 lav set and a waterproof case for $1,000. That's a super cool deal. And then on BH Photo, there's also a couple different kit combinations and solutions. Even if you wanted to get dual handheld mics, dual receivers, dual lav transmitters, and really have like a full-blown interview setup. Again, something like that's gonna be a bigger investment, but I actually remember that the first Sennheiser kit I invested in was back when I started my media production company, and I spent a couple grand, but that was 2009, and I used that setup for like 7 years. And so when I think about investing in something like this for creating content, it's not something for probably the hobbyist, but it's something that if you want to have dependable audio for literally months and years to come, kits like this are definitely worth considering. Okay, so let's talk about some of the pros of this setup and do some comparisons to my older Sennheiser setup as well. And the first one is the battery life. Now, one of the things I love about this kit is that all of the batteries are actually rechargeable, and they pretty much run for at least a day of shooting, or you can charge them with like a power pack in the field or plug them into the wall. But this makes it nice and lean because you get the battery pack and you don't have to be continuously investing in, say, like AA batteries and changing them. So this is my old Sennheiser G2 kits. These are pretty similar to the G3s. And so on any shoot, we would bring like a bag of batteries. So we had plenty of batteries. And if we ran with multiple receivers, which we would typically do, our setup would be 2 in here, and then double that, it'd be 8 batteries. And so this is a lot lighter, a lot leaner, and the battery life is great. Also, the battery life on the receiver is just this little guy right here. And then you can recharge that. I believe this is rated for about 5 hours straight, depending on how much you're using it. But again, if you plug this into XLR, it can pull that phantom power and not use the battery power as well. Or you could just charge this throughout the day in the micro USB. So battery life not only is great, but it's also a much leaner and lighter solution with the AVX setup. The second pro is that you have digital wireless versus analog. So what's cool about this is, again, typically you would turn on your analog setup, go through the channel bands and try to find, a channel that doesn't have any interference. It took a while to set up. A lot of times I would block even, to be safe, 20 to 30 minutes to make sure our audio is all dialed in when we would do professional video production shoots, because there were so many moving parts. And what I love about this is, again, it's digital, so it fully self-configures. You just pair it, you do it auto, and you're just up and running, and you don't need to worry about it. Unfortunately, in the past, and it was all our fault because of monitoring, but because of a setup like this, if we had a multi-hour shoot on analog, it was fine for the first few hours, but then towards the end of the shoot, something happened, there was some interference, and we've actually lost some video files because the audio got messed up. And so again, I love the digital solution. It's just kind of a stress-free way to capture audio, easy to pair, fully self-configures, super solid. And then as far as the build quality, I love this setup. Super intuitive. This piece is super clean. We were using it at NAB, and we were able to just plug it right into a BeachTech receiver. Looked really clean. No wires in that particular setup. It also, with this piece, can easily go on top of a camera, and then you can just plug it right in. And I also like it because it's about half the weight of our old setup. So old setup is very good. Both build quality was really great, but this, with the batteries and everything else, weighed quite a bit more. It was just more bulky, more wires and things like that. And so a very great build quality that's also really lean and nimble for multiple video content creation scenarios. Now, as few as a few cons, or just a few things to consider with this setup. The first is that it does kind of have that auto gain control setting going for it. You can't really turn that off. So it's always going to be adjusting to your camera's input sensitivity, kind of like the AGC of some DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. So what that would mean is that if you really want more kind of sensitivity adjustments, then you might want to go with Sennheiser's G3 kit. But for me, I think the simplicity is awesome, and it's never really been a problem. Now, what you can do on the receiver here is it starts out at 0 dB, and it'll just adjust to your camera's input sensitivity on auto. But you can also go -10, -20, up to minus 30 dB. So you can pull the sensitivity down a little bit on the receiver. But again, on something like the Sennheiser G3 kit, you're gonna have more nuances of recording that sensitivity, and it's not going to have that auto adjustment happening. And then the only other thing is that it's ultimately, you know, it's not a cheap setup, it's a big investment. And so I would say that that's just something to consider, but the value is certainly there. So if you're a serious content creator and you want to invest into something that's going to last, you're gonna be pumping out a lot of content, and you want something that's gonna be durable, dependable for months and even years to come, then it really does justify the price and you get what you pay for. But hey, as with anything on Think Media TV, all the specs, all the build quality, that stuff matters, but what matters more is, does it actually work? Does it actually get you the results that you want for your content? And so here's a couple different examples of some of the things that we've shot with this so far. This example right here is kind of more of like an interview setup, like a talking head setup. And this is shot kind of in an indoor-outdoor situation with the lav mic right here on the subject.
Hi, my name is Tony Lopez with Alternative Living Spaces, and I'm here to show you a tiny home that we just finished up. It's a tiny home that's made out of a 20-foot steel shipping container, and it's about 165 square feet. So go ahead and take a look.
Okay, now here's another example of Omar, who actually helps with a lot of the shooting and editing here on Think Media, and he also has a cool photography channel that he recently launched. I'll actually link that up in the description below, doing a lot of cool stuff over there. But he was recently doing a shoot in kind of a park, so you can hear the lavalier microphone in kind of an outdoor setting, and so check out this audio.
There's almost like magic in capturing those moments regardless, because parents are seeing that speaks way more than just a smile. So you know, when you get kids to just smile at the camera, that could be cool, but sometimes it's not as realistic. Sometimes you get the personality.
All right, now, as far as the handheld mic goes, we use this for our recent shoot at the NAB Tech Show here in Las Vegas. And so we actually had a whole new setup. We wanted to do 4K, so we were shooting on a Sony camera. We wanted to do simple and clean audio, so we were using these Sennheiser mics. And we actually used a Beach Tech audio adapter, so we could also monitor the audio during the entire event with a headphone jack and tactile knobs to adjust all the audio gains and things like that. So check out how this sounds. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media TV, helping you go further, faster in media. And we're here at NAB at the Panasonic booth, checking out some Panasonic GH5s. Now, we've covered this camera already on Think Media TV. And NAB was also kind of a learning experience with us, because we went right into that show with the Beach Tech, with the Sennheiser mics, and it turned out pretty well. But let's also do a test right now so you can hear how this sounds just in this environment right here. Okay, so right now you are hearing the handheld mic, and we're sitting here in an office, and so it sounds pretty good. And I think we have the audio dialed in here, and obviously a microphone like this is great for journalism, man-on-the-street content, interviews, and especially live events, because you can be in a very loud environment with lots of background noise and get clean audio despite the fact that there's tons of noise. But also having a kit with this is an option, as well as also the lav as an option, is nice, because you could do this for, you know, interviews and live events, and then maybe a lot of YouTube content where you're in a more controlled environment, or where you don't want the look of this. You have either option. Definitely a solid, versatile setup. So as far as my final thoughts, I think that this is a solid setup, you know, and that's pretty well known, right? I mean, there's a lot of YouTube videos out about the AVX setup, tons of positive reviews on BH, on Amazon, everywhere, because Sennheiser is pretty well known for just putting out solid, dependable solutions for creators to put out great sounding content, right? And so if you're definitely looking at leveling up your audio and investing in a solution that is going to serve you for months and years to come, I would definitely think about checking out the AVX setup. Great build quality, great sound quality, super user-friendly and easy to use, and a great setup overall. And the last thing that I'll also say is that I really think that digital is a must. It's kind of a weird side, topic here, but actually my Sennheiser G2s these particular receivers are actually on a band, a radio frequency or analog frequency that just got purchased by T-Mobile, and in a couple years, it'll be illegal for me to use these particular receivers. Now, there are a few other ones that are not, illegal to use, and I'll put some details and links to more information about this. I don't really want to get off topic, but again, when I heard that and I heard the announcement that, again, these mics that I spent all this money on and these receivers literally were going to be outlawed in a few years, obviously I was discouraged, number one. But number two, it made me think even more having a digital solution is a great way to go. You don't have to worry about any frequency static, any competition on the frequency. It's, frequency agile. It's going to find and keep that tight signal. It's not going to have any issues. You just know that you're going to get good audio without having to worry about it. And that is really, I think, the bottom line when it comes to the Sennheiser AVX system. Question of the day: what type of scenarios do you need good audio in? Are you just shooting videos like in a home office or your bedroom, or are you taking it to the streets? Are you doing interviews? Are you doing handheld kind of journalistic type of content? I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. Hit the like button if you got value out of this video. And if you haven't downloaded the Think Media TV Video Gear Buyer's Guide, it actually goes through all of my favorite tripods, cameras, microphones, lighting for all different budgets. And you can grab that for free, link in the description below, as well as on the YouTube card. Until next time, Think Media TV is bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.